Big batteries don't make money sitting in a container. Today I'm going to show you how battery energy storage system teams actually fill their pipeline. So we're talking about trade shows, referrals, mailers, cold calls, RFP portals, email blasts, and the targeted inbox outreach system that helped us get over 750 megawatts inside control. I'm going to show you the pros, cons, the cost, and what to avoid. At the end, if you want the setup for your counties, I'll leave a link below so that you can book a 30-minute time slot to help you build this plan out for you. You run storage, right? You don't have time for fluff. We've helped developers add 750 megawatt acres in site control and over $15 million in PPA revenue once energized. Even though I'm going to be unbiased here, I'm going to show you what works, what breaks. What you're going to see is that we'll end up being biased towards the targeted inbox outreach system just because it works that much better. Batteries are scaling really fast. The EIA expects US utility scale storage to hit 65 gigawatts by the end of 2026. What that means is more competitors chasing the same sites and hosts. At the same time, interconnection queues are slow. The typical project built in 2023 took 5 years from request to COD. You can't also wait 5 years for your marketing to start to work. So that's why I think it's really important that we break down all these concepts and all these methods to see which one is actually the best. So the first one is referrals and network. Now, obviously, certain businesses only run on referrals and networking, which obviously can last a lifetime. However, it's not scalable. It's actually very risky to rely on just, your key person that introduces you to other people. But, to be fair, those are where all the high trust closes come from. Because you know a friend that knew a friend and he needs a project and they know you and they trust you. It's an easy close. It's just not scalable. That's the only thing. Now, the second one, very similar to the first, is trade shows and conferences. Are they fun? Hell yes. You're meeting people that are similar to you. You get to listen to some awesome panelists. There's a lot of FaceTime going on. You meet people that you haven't seen in a long time, how things are going. You can follow up with prospects that have kind of ghosted you. But let's just face the reality as well. If you get a booth, it's even more expensive. And then it's all of that, all of the time, effort, all of the sweat that goes into it for very, very slow conversations that usually go nowhere. Let's just be honest, right? But if you want to make this work, you have to use BAM-FAM. Book a meeting from a meeting. Wherever they are, choose a time with them. Tell them, look, let's do this time here and this time here, and then done. At least you know that they're not going to just ghost on you. For the price, I just don't think it's really worth it. Unless you know one of your prospects that are ghosting you are going to be there, then you can confront them. Yeah, then it works. But other than that, I don't see the value in it. And this one here is a bit of a tricky one. RFP portals, which is basically just qualified demand. If you land it, you land it. The thing is that these are great ways to get projects. Just don't only rely on these. And then we've got direct mailers. Now, this one here is such a weird topic because, first of all, they're slow. They're very expensive to personalize. However, they do sometimes reach people without an email at all, which is rare, but it happens. Some people don't check the email at all and they check their mailers. But I'm going to ask you personally, when was the last time you looked at a foreign mail, opened it and said, wow, I'm going to call this number here? Exactly. It doesn't happen anymore because there's too many scammers. There's too many people doing funny things online. And most of you guys just shred your mailers. The only time I've seen this work is with video mailers. Other than that, I don't suggest mailers at all. They're just not worth it in 2025. But that's not the worst one. The worst one actually makes mailers look incredible. You take all the leftover emails from the mailing address list that you got from the utility, and then you send them one big email blast, 50,000 emails all at once. What nobody tells you about email blasts is that 0.5 to 0.1% actually make it to the inbox. That means only 50 to 250 emails go through. From those, how many do you think are opened, read, and responded to? 0. Maybe one. Now, one of the last methods on this list, which is probably the best so far, is cold calling. The reason being it's scalable but expensive, but it still works. The response rates might be low, might be negative. However, it does still work to a great extent if you do know what you're doing. But I've saved the best for last, and that's the targeted inbox outreach system. It actually combines a bit of cold calling and a lot more advanced email systems. Now I want to show you why developers are choosing to go with a targeted inbox outreach system. If you think about it, this actually takes a little bit from all of these different methods and makes it so much better altogether. The whole concept for you is to stop shouting and screaming your message at everyone. Rather have your email be targeted, focused, and the copy be written exactly for the person's parcel address and their position as well. Our flow is pretty simple, right? So we start from the utility lists that our clients have purchased for us, and then we take those mailing addresses along with all the information given about the owner, and then we find the correct decision makers for that property, whether it's the owner, the asset lead, the CFO, or any other relevant point of contact. So we actually segment the copy by role, by county, and by asset. So the copy for your landowner versus your investor and your CFO are all going to be completely different, in the sense that it's going to be personalized to each of their desires and their pain point. And we will also make reference to the buildable acres and the county as well. We take care of the entire deliverability aspect of it. So instead of a 0.1% or 0.5 or even 2% inbox rate, we actually get a 97 to 99% inbox rate using SPF, DMARC, DKIM, and all these other advanced tactics to make sure that we are always on top of the inbox. So we send between 2 and 5 emails per person, as in-depth as you want it to be. However, all of our emails are straight to the point. We don't waste any time with any fluff. If we want to build reputation, we do it very, very short and simply. We showcase case studies, testimonials, and then if it's not the right person, we ask for the right person. Simple. And then we have all sort of automations in place so that when the response does come, it's firstly rerouted to whatever Slack channel or Teams channel that you want, then into a Google Sheet CRM with a complete update of what actually happened. And if you have your own CRM, it will be integrated directly with that as well as how far along is this person and what did they actually say, to keep you updated. But it's not just that, because we believe communication is key, which is why we send you every week a weekly report, and every second week we have a bi-weekly call to make sure that you're always in the loop. Now obviously we live and learn as well. In the beginning we ran outreach without any automations. That resulted in 0 leases. All we did was edit reply routing, we improved the copy, and then we gave them weekly updates as well. 1 week after these changes, they signed 2 leases, both over 100 megawatts. From there, the compounding kicked in. And he said that before he met Naeem, which is me, he was sending monthly mailers with a very low response rate, and then many of them ended up not qualifying for solar sites. I proposed to conduct the remainder of his original list in a different way, which is the dynamic email campaign. And we increased the frequency of contact responses and number of leases signed at an overall lower cost. Now, this is Michael Fried from Suncode Energy. You can reach out to him via LinkedIn and he can confirm the story any day of the week. But if there is something that you could learn from this, is what didn't work for us. 1, spray and pray mailers. They're very expensive, slow feedback. It just doesn't work that well anymore. 2, generic email blasts. Please, 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 just avoid this. There's no point. You're just wasting time, you're wasting money, and you're wasting resources. No automations. It's so much more inexpensive than you actually think, and it saves so much time and effort, it's ridiculous. And just to recap the numbers, with our targeted inbox outreach system, we've added over 750 megawatt acres in site control. We've added over $15 million in PPA revenue once energized, and our clients have more leads than they know what to do with. So if you want this exact inbox stack configured for your targets, click the link below. Choose a time and we'll map your counties, your roles, and your next 14 days so you can get those deals flowing through as well. I'm gonna email, let's build something great together.